Gentlemen, I need to ask you something that might feel uncomfortable, but it's important. Think back to the last time you experienced a spontaneous, firm erection in the morning. Not because you took something, not because you tried to make it happen, just your body functioning the way nature intended. If that memory feels distant, or if you're struggling to recall when it last happened, then pay close attention because what I'm sharing today might be exactly what you've been searching for. There's a specific nutrient that the majority of men beyond their 50s are running dangerously low on. When this deficiency takes hold, it creates a domino effect. Your ability to achieve erections weakens, your energy tanks, and quality sleep becomes nearly impossible. I'm Dr. Julia Rhodes. For over a decade, I've specialized as a men's sex therapist, helping countless couples restore intimacy and connection in their relationships. What I'm going to walk you through today is which essential nutrient addresses all three of these interconnected issues, the precise way to use it for optimal outcomes, and why timing is absolutely everything. Get it wrong, and you'll see zero results. Real quick, leave a comment and let me know what part of the world you're tuning in from. Our community spans the globe, and I genuinely love connecting with each of you. So let's talk about what's actually going on beneath the surface. Once men cross the 50-year threshold, there's a rapid depletion of one particular mineral that most physicians never even screen for. Many men have no idea this nutrient even plays a role in their vitality. But when it starts running low, it triggers a cascade of problems that touch every dimension of your well-being. Here's what begins to happen. Your nervous system loses its natural capacity to downshift and relax. You climb into bed absolutely drained, yet your mind refuses to quiet down. Thoughts about tomorrow's responsibilities, financial concerns, endless to-do lists, they just keep cycling. Your body is screaming for rest, but your brain is locked in high gear. At the same time, your blood vessels start losing their elasticity and becoming more rigid. They can't dilate and expand the way they need to, which means circulation weakens throughout your entire system, particularly to the genital area. Imagine old rubber bands that have lost their stretch. They've become stiff, brittle, unable to perform their basic function anymore. And here's the critical piece. Because your body never drops into that deep restorative sleep phase, your nighttime testosterone manufacturing plummets. Here's something most men don't realize. Roughly 90% of your daily testosterone gets produced during the initial 3 hours of deep sleep. Skip that deep sleep and your testosterone production essentially shuts down. What does this look like in real life? Erections that lack firmness and don't maintain themselves. Perpetual exhaustion that no amount of caffeine can touch. Fragmented sleep where you're constantly waking up, never feeling genuinely rested. And the heartbreaking sense that physical intimacy is gradually slipping through your fingers with each passing year. But here's what transformed my entire approach to working with men. This isn't simply aging taking its natural course. This is nutritional depletion. And depletion is something we can actually reverse. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal has helped thousands of the men I've worked with reclaim what they believed was permanently lost. What is this critical mineral that has the power to simultaneously improve your sleep quality, erectile function, and overall energy? It's magnesium. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've heard about magnesium before. That's nothing new. But hold on, because here's where almost every man gets it completely backwards. And this is precisely why, if you've experimented with magnesium in the past without seeing results, it didn't work. Magnesium isn't just one uniform substance. There are actually 7 distinct forms. And here's the crucial detail that changes everything. Only 2 of these forms actually deliver results for erections, deep restorative sleep, and testosterone optimization. Let me break down the 3 mechanisms through which magnesium revolutionizes your sexual health. First, let's address why magnesium is absolutely fundamental for achieving strong, dependable erections. Your capacity to develop and sustain an erection relies heavily on something called endothelial function. In simpler terms, that's your blood vessel wall's ability to relax and widen when they receive the proper signals. Picture your blood vessels as flexible tubing. When they're in good condition, they can expand significantly to permit maximum circulation. When they're compromised or missing essential nutrients, they remain constricted and inflexible. Magnesium directly enhances this endothelial function. It operates as a natural vasodilator, opening up your circulatory pathways. Here's the biological mechanism. At the cellular level, magnesium activates an enzyme called nitric oxide synthase. This enzyme generates nitric oxide, the master signaling molecule that instructs your blood vessels to relax and open wide. This is actually the identical biological mechanism that drugs like Viagra target, except magnesium supports your body's own natural production rather than artificially forcing the response. Improved circulation translates directly to firmer, longer-lasting erections. Now, let's examine why magnesium is indispensable for achieving deep, restorative sleep. Your nervous system operates in 2 fundamental modes: the sympathetic mode, which is your fight or flight stress response, and the parasympathetic mode, which is your rest and digest recovery state. The majority of men over 50 find themselves trapped in sympathetic mode almost continuously. Your body interprets everything as a threat, all the time. Magnesium activates your parasympathetic nervous system by binding to GABA receptors in your brain. GABA is your body's primary calming neurotransmitter, the chemical messenger that signals to your brain that it's safe to power down for the night. Without sufficient magnesium levels, you physically cannot activate these calming systems effectively. Your body might be horizontal in bed, but your mind is still racing at maximum capacity. Magnesium also directly reduces cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone. Research demonstrates that appropriate magnesium supplementation can decrease cortisol levels by 15 to 20%. When cortisol drops, 2 critical things occur. You fall asleep more quickly and maintain sleep for longer periods. And your body can finally transition into that deep recovery mode where genuine restoration takes place. This brings us to the 3rd transformation: why magnesium is essential for naturally elevating testosterone levels. Testosterone production doesn't happen at a steady rate throughout the day. It follows a very precise biological rhythm. The overwhelming majority of your daily testosterone production, approximately 90%, occurs during the first 3 hours of deep sleep every night. Not light sleep, not REM sleep, but deep, slow-wave sleep. If you never reach those deep sleep stages because your nervous system can't relax, because your cortisol remains elevated, because your magnesium stores are depleted, then your testosterone production simply doesn't occur. But magnesium accomplishes something else that's equally significant. It reduces a protein called SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. This protein attaches itself to testosterone in your bloodstream and renders it unavailable for your body to actually utilize. Magnesium helps liberate that bound testosterone, which means you have more active, bioavailable testosterone circulating through your system. In one research study published in Biological Trace Element Research, men who supplemented with 450 milligrams of magnesium daily for just 4 weeks experienced a 24% increase in their testosterone levels. Enhanced sleep leads to increased testosterone production. Elevated testosterone leads to stronger erections. Improved circulation supports both erectile function and overall vitality. And magnesium is the key that simultaneously unlocks all 3 biological systems. Now, here's where most men unknowingly sabotage their own results. Let me reveal the 4 critical mistakes that cause most men to fail with magnesium supplementation. Mistake number 1. Purchasing the cheapest magnesium available. Most men walk into their local drugstore, spot a bottle of magnesium on the shelf, and grab whatever costs the least. Almost invariably, that's magnesium oxide. Here's the problem with that choice. Your body only absorbs approximately 4% of it. That means if you're taking a 400 milligram dose, you're only getting about 16 milligrams into your actual system. The rest just sits in your digestive tract and primarily causes diarrhea. The form of magnesium matters exponentially more than the dosage amount. A high-quality, highly bioavailable form at a lower dose will deliver far superior results. Magnesium glycinate is my top recommendation for most men. This form has approximately 80% bioavailability. It's magnesium bound to the amino acid glycine. And here's what makes it particularly special. Glycine itself promotes sleep and relaxation, so you're receiving a synergistic benefit. The magnesium relaxes your musculature and blood vessels, while the glycine calms your nervous system. The recommended dosage is 200 to 400 milligrams, taken 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. This form produces no digestive distress and is specifically effective for muscle relaxation, blood vessel dilation, and achieving deep sleep phases. Magnesium L-threonate is the second highly effective form, particularly beneficial for men who struggle with anxiety or racing thoughts at night. This is the only form that effectively crosses the blood-brain barrier, which means it directly influences brain chemistry. The dosage is higher, between 1,000 and 2,000 milligrams. This form tends to carry a higher price tag, but for men whose primary obstacle is mental restlessness rather than physical tension, it can absolutely be worth the investment. What should you steer clear of? Avoid magnesium oxide, cheap magnesium citrate, and any bulk supplements where manufacturing quality is questionable. Brands I consistently recommend include Doctor's Best, Thorne, Pure Encapsulations, and Life Extension. Mistake number 2, taking magnesium in the morning. This is a catastrophic mistake that completely undermines your results. Magnesium is a relaxing mineral. If you consume it with breakfast or midday, you're going to feel sluggish, and you're going to completely miss the nighttime recovery window where the real transformation occurs. Remember this: testosterone production happens during sleep. Deep sleep happens when your nervous system can relax. Magnesium facilitates both of these processes, but these processes exclusively occur at night. The optimal timing is 30 to 60 minutes before bed, consumed with warm water or herbal tea. This timing allows the magnesium to be absorbed and begin working just as you're settling into bed. It also sends a powerful physiological signal to your body that the active day has ended and it's time to transition into recovery mode. Mistake number 3, expecting magnesium to function like a pharmaceutical. Men take magnesium for 3 nights, don't wake up with a rock-hard erection, and conclude it doesn't work. Let me be absolutely clear. Magnesium is not Viagra. It doesn't produce an instant erection. That's fundamentally not how this nutrient operates. Magnesium works cumulatively. It's rebuilding your physiological foundation from the ground up, not forcing a temporary response. Here's what the realistic timeline looks like. During nights 1 through 3, you'll notice you fall asleep faster and feel more physically relaxed. By the end of week 1, many men begin noticing morning erections returning. You'll also notice your daytime energy starts to improve. Between weeks 2 and 4, this is where the genuine transformation unfolds. You'll experience consistent deep sleep. Your libido strengthens noticeably, and your natural erectile function begins to restore itself. Erections come more easily, they're firmer, and they sustain themselves longer. This is about systematically rebuilding your body's systems, not applying a temporary fix. Mistake number 4, taking magnesium in isolation. When combining it with other nutrients would produce far superior results. Magnesium works exponentially more effectively when combined with zinc and vitamin B6. Together, these 3 nutrients form what's known as ZMA, and the synergistic effect substantially exceeds any single nutrient taken alone. Zinc blocks an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen. As men age, particularly if they're carrying extra abdominal fat, aromatase activity increases, which means you're actively converting your testosterone into estrogen. Zinc inhibits this conversion process. Vitamin B6 is necessary for your body to actually absorb and utilize zinc effectively. It also plays a direct role in neurotransmitter production, including dopamine, which influences libido and motivation. When you combine all 3 together, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin B6, research shows testosterone increases by approximately 30% more than magnesium alone. The exact protocol is 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, 30 milligrams of zinc in either picolinate or citrate form, and 10 to 15 milligrams of vitamin B6 in the P5P form. Take all 3 together 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Now, here's exactly what I want you to implement starting tonight. This is the precise protocol I recommend to every man I work with. Step 1. Choose the right form of magnesium. For most men, begin with magnesium glycinate. The dosage is 200 to 400 milligrams, taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This form is ideal if your primary challenges are muscle tension, difficulty maintaining sleep, or physical tension. Quality brands include Doctor's Best High Absorption Magnesium, Thorne Magnesium Bisglycinate, and Pure Encapsulations Magnesium Glycinate. If anxiety, racing thoughts, or mental restlessness are your dominant issues, consider magnesium L-threonate instead. The dosage is 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams. This is the only form that crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly calms brain activity. Look for Life Extension Neuromag or Magtine brand. Step 2. Build a consistent nighttime routine around your magnesium supplementation. This is absolutely critical because timing isn't just about when you consume the magnesium. It's about creating a ritual that signals your entire body that recovery mode is initiating. Here's the exact schedule. 9 p.m. Begin your wind-down process. Start dimming the lights throughout your living space. This triggers your pineal gland to begin producing melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. Bright lights signal to your brain that it's still daytime. 9:30 p.m. Turn off all screens, your phone, television, computer, tablet, everything. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production by up to 50%. If you absolutely must use your phone, enable night mode, but ideally place it in another room entirely. 9:45 p.m. Your pre-sleep ritual. Light stretching for 5 minutes to release muscle tension. Then complete 3 sets of 10 pelvic floor exercises. Contract the muscles you'd use to stop urinating midstream. Hold for 5 seconds. Relax for 5 seconds. These exercises strengthen the muscles that trap blood in the penis during an erection. Finally, take a warm shower or wash your face with warm water. When you exit, your core temperature drops slightly, signaling your body it's time for sleep. 10 p.m. Take your magnesium. Mix your supplement into a full glass of warm water or herbal tea. Chamomile tea works particularly well because it contains apigenin, a compound that also promotes sleep. If you want to add a teaspoon of raw honey, that's fine. It helps stabilize your blood glucose overnight. Sit calmly while you drink this. Don't rush it. Make it a deliberate ritual. 10:30 p.m. You should be in bed, not watching TV, actually in bed with lights off. Your bedroom should be 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, completely dark using blackout curtains or an eye mask, and if needed, white noise from a fan or sound machine. Why does this specific schedule matter? Because consistency trains your circadian rhythm. When you go to bed at the same time every night, even on weekends, your body learns to anticipate sleep and initiates the shutdown process automatically. Testosterone production is highly dependent on circadian rhythm. Irregular sleep schedules directly suppress testosterone production, even if you're getting adequate total hours. Step 3. Track your progress systematically. Keep a small notebook on your nightstand. Every morning when you wake up, record 4 things. 1. How well did you sleep? Scale of 1 to 10. 2. Did you have a morning erection? Yes or no? If yes, rate the firmness 1 to 10. 3. What's your energy level upon waking? Scale of 1 to 10. 4. Rate your overall mood. Scale of 1 to 10. Why is tracking so important? Because the changes happen gradually. If you don't track, you might not notice the improvements. But when you look back after 30 days and see that your sleep went from a 4 to an 8, that morning erections went from absent to present 5 days a week, and energy went from a 3 to a 7, the evidence is undeniable. Step 4. Add these supporting habits that amplify magnesium's effectiveness. Cut off all caffeine by 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. Even if you think it doesn't affect you, it does. It blocks adenosine receptors in your brain, preventing the sleepiness signal. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule 7 days a week, including weekends. One study found that men with inconsistent sleep times had testosterone levels 10 to 15% lower than men with consistent schedules, even when total sleep time was identical. Do 5 minutes of light stretching before bed every night. Simple movements that release tension in your lower back, hips, and shoulders. This physical release activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Avoid alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. Alcohol might help you fall asleep initially, but it completely blocks REM sleep and deep, slow-wave sleep, where testosterone production happens. 1 drink can reduce your deep sleep by up to 40%. This complete protocol addresses multiple systems simultaneously: sleep quality, testosterone production, arterial health, and nervous system balance. Clinical studies show testosterone increases of 30 to 42% compared to placebo. The investment is approximately $30 to $50 per month. That's about $1 a day to potentially transform your sleep, energy, erections, and overall quality of life. But before you begin, let me tell you about Michael. He was 58 years old, worked in finance. Michael came to me saying, "I haven't experienced a morning erection in over 2 years. When my wife and I attempt intimacy, either nothing happens at all, or if I do get an erection, I lose it within minutes." He'd tried Viagra, and it worked, but he despised being dependent on it. I recommended he get labs done. His testosterone came back at low normal, 350 nanograms per deciliter. More significantly, his magnesium was severely deficient. His RBC magnesium was at 4.2 milligrams per deciliter, when optimal is 6.0 to 6.5. I put Michael on 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate before bed, 30 milligrams of zinc, 10 milligrams of vitamin B6, and a consistent 10:30 p.m. bedtime. Week 1. Michael was sleeping through the entire night without waking for the first time in months. Week 2. His first morning erection in over 2 years. He sent me a message that was just 2 words. It happened. He told me later it was emotional. Week 4. Morning erections 4 to 5 times per week. His natural function during intimacy was returning. 2 months. Michael told me, "My wife noticed the change before I said anything. She told me I seem more present, more engaged. And the physical side, that's working naturally now. I threw away the Viagra." We retested at 3 months. His testosterone had increased from 350 to 485 nanograms per deciliter, nearly a 40% increase, all from correcting a mineral deficiency and improving sleep quality. Gentlemen, here's the bottom line. Weak erections, poor sleep quality, and low energy aren't life sentences you have to accept. They're clear, specific signals that your body needs magnesium, proper recovery, and consistent support. You can start tonight. Take the right form of magnesium at the right time within a supportive evening routine, and watch what happens. Watch how your sleep improves in the first week. Watch how morning erections begin to return in weeks 2 and 3. Watch how your energy levels stabilize. Watch how your libido strengthens and intimacy starts to feel natural again. But I want you to commit to 30 days. Give your body 1 full month of proper mineral support and consistent sleep timing. Track 3 things every morning: your sleep quality, whether you had a morning erection and how firm it was, and your energy level when you wake up. At the end of 30 days, pull out your notes and look at where you started versus where you are now. You're going to see a clear pattern of improvement. You're going to see your sleep scores climbing. You're going to see morning erections happening with increasing frequency. You're going to see your energy levels rising. And when you see that evidence, you're going to want to continue because you'll realize this is actually working. And if after 30 days you genuinely see no improvement, what have you lost? You've invested maybe $20 to $30 in supplements, and you've developed better sleep habits that benefit your health regardless. If this video helped you, hit that like button so more men who are struggling can find this information. And drop your most pressing men's health question in the comments below. What are you struggling with? What do you want to understand better? Nothing is off limits. Ask me anything.